We'll get that tech tree done, and let's see what else we can get here. So we've gained Empire Mint, which will be just something that'll give us a little bit of a bonus for producing dust, which is the currency inside the game again. Going from here, we actually have quite a few different things that we can get. So, there is the Center for Seas and Rivers. That's one thing that we can get. We can get a mill foundry. I think we'll actually get the mill foundry thing right here, which will cost us 52 research points, and that'll just take 3 days for us. So, let's see. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of texts, and you're free to pause the game or rewind the video to, of course, check these out. But I'm just looking over these for ourselves, and it's mainly just unlocking different resources and, of course, influencing how we produce things and unlocking different abilities. But I think I'll just get Mill Foundry for now, which will give us a city improvement, which will allow us to increase our productivity, which is, of course, critical for building new things for us here and there. Now, that Founder's Memorial is still going to take 9 turns, but we can hurry production of that since we have the cash for it. So, for these 4X games, I usually like to try to get an economic and technological advantage over my opponent, so then I can get a military one. So with that in mind, I think what I'll do is that I'll hurry production at the cost of some of that dust currency, so we can finish that memorial in 1 turn, and I think I'll get this army to actually pacify this little town, so we can take a look at the little combat portion here and there. So yeah, we can pretty much attack this force in the battle. Like Endless Space, the battles will also be conducted on this little plane here and there. We can choose a few general strategies here, and the game will just sort of resolve this thing for us. I think we'll go on offensive, and I'll do a manual battle. We'll just take a look at the battle scenarios. So yeah, that'll open up the map like this, and it'll allow us to play this, I would say, like Might, what's the game series? Might and Magic type of battle area, where we can move our guys and we can shoot at these people, and just generally do some cool stuff like that. So, I think we'll get our guys to move forwards. And we can only issue our guys general troops. We can't issue them, say, particularly specific troops, I believe, yeah. So, I think we'll just try to, like, our marine people, they have 37 life, they have 18 attack but low armor. These guys have heavy health, but they're melee units and they have low defense. So our guys should just, pelt these guys, and I think I'll just try to blitz down individual targets. So we'll aim for the first one over here, and we'll just try to take them down like that. And anyhow, the battle resolution continues, and we'll get our guys to shoot. It looks like they only do a small amount of damage, so they do 7 damage, and I think that's because of the fact that their attack is 18. These guys have 7 defense, and perhaps something else also plays a bit of a role there. But yeah, we're going to try to pacify this village through force here. And our guys are just going to try to blitz these guys down, use their little javelin launch or crossbow launchers, and they're doing quite a bit of damage right now. And one falls down, the other one's going to go tier 2. Pew! Let's see what we can do, and of course the turn plays out like such, and we can issue some more orders. And it looks like this guy's gonna go down soon as well, so this is gonna be good. Oh, and perfect, it looks like our hero gives our guys a defense bonus, which is pretty important here, because this guy's gonna absolutely clobber our guys, and they're gonna do a ton of damage. So this Rumper actually has the capacities called, it has an ability called Sweep, so it can actually do this sort of cleave attack where it can hit multiple locations like that. And as you can see, evidently it managed to clobber 2 of our marine units, taking out quite a little bit of health. So anyhow, we're going to win this battle over this village. It's going to pacify the little village here. And yeah, pretty much it's going to make that area fine. So, continuing from here, I think we also located another one of those ruins in another special area over here called Moss Pearls. And this area also gives us quite a bit of a tech advantage. So that is also interesting here in another one of these Igira ruins, so that'll be very interesting, and we can take a look at those areas in just a little bit as well. Can my guy just move over here? I think, yeah, they can move slightly. So I'll shift these guys over, and I think I'll cap off those areas. And ooh, there's also another anomaly area over here called an Earth Spine, and this gives us a bit of money, tech again, and a whole bunch of content, so that is really, really nice too. And a rocky field, which is more or less just, I see, this rocky field gives us a little bit more production capability than, say, the red rock over here and the forests over here. Again, I mean, this game is just absolutely wonderfully detailed, and I'm really, really excited to explore this game with you guys. So I think I'll end the turn here. Our hero is going to level up, so we can actually control, we can click on Petrov over here, and we can level her up on the different stats. So, I believe these are a mixture of passive and, I want to say active, but to be frank, I'm not sure, abilities, but this will allow her to do more stuff. So it looks like we'll have to get the bottom level ones first before we can advance into the higher ones. So let's see what we can choose here out of the one skill point we have. We can do Agile Mover, so then we can move this army a little bit faster. And if you noticed, down here, this army has 4 movement points per turn, so we can just sort of increase that. We can get that's kind of punny. Indiana Bones, which will allow us to search better on those runes, so that'll be good. And we also have Alchemical Genius, which will increase our science production if she is garrisoned in a town. And with these hero units, you can plug them down inside a town as a little governor, and they'll just sort of help you out there. So that's also an option, but I think what I'll do is that I'll get the town to build a never mind. I think I'll get the town to build an Empire Mint right now, because some of these buildings will be just built on a town square by itself, and some of these buildings, like these borough streets, you actually plug them down on the terrain here and there. Speaking of the terrain, I think I'll pluck down a borough street over here, so then we can get access to this special mineral rich resource in a little bit. But going from here, I just want my army to move forwards, and I really want to explore these ruins because they'll give us some quests and some items and some really good stuff like that. And I suppose that'll be the end of this turn, and we'll play on to turn number 10 for this particular session. So we'll go forwards like that, and it looks like I'm researching quite a mill foundry right now, so that's good. This area is being built up, and we can search this area, so we will. Let's see what we find inside this rune. And we found 60 dust, which is really, really nice. So that is good. And we'll try to uncover this rune in the next turn, so we'll just end this part here. Research the mill foundry, so let's choose another research. And I think I'll unlock the second type of unit, which is the Dawn Officer here. And these guys are melee, they're melee units, and they appear to have a charge ability, but they are cavalry units, so that'll be kind of neat. And it looks like, you know what, we will need some combat ability, so that would be really nice to have. After we research, I believe, 10 technologies will actually advance up to Era 2, and furthermore, I think you need... And I actually don't know how many you need for Tier 3, but anyhow, we'll just sort of progress to the tech tree here as such, and I mean, playing as our faction, we have a pretty easy choice with the tech tree here. So anyhow, scout this area out. Looks like we gained another successful search party over here, so we uncovered some dust, and with that dust we'll use it to give us ourselves an early game advantage, and I'll just automatically blitz Empire Mint here. I'll spend 80 of those currency units onto a building, and I think we'll just sort of cap that right away. So anyhow, advancing further here, I want to figure out who owns this orange zone, because it looks like that will be one of our AI opponents, so it'll be interesting to check out there. Anyhow, we've researched that building over here, so that'll put a modifier to the amount of dust we produce, and we produce a whopping 36 units of dust right now, and 20 technology, which is really rather interesting. Going from here, I want a public library, but I also want one of those borough areas to increase our little area around our town, but I'm actually going to see what this actually says. So for those borough streets, it's going to increase the city needs to grow, new fields must be added, and it looks like by building this production facility. It's going to make it so that the town won't produce as much food, but hopefully we'll be able to counter that by expanding the area of our town. But it's going to give us a little bit of dust production, a little bit of district production, and depending on the level of our town, it's actually going to give us some more gold, dust, and research production. So that'll be very interesting. What is the level of our town anyhow? We have 2 people. Our town's going to grow in 4 turns. It looks like we have 10 dust units worth of city improvements here, which is adding to that little upkeep there. So that's rather interesting. People here are content, and you know what? I think I will just wait up on that a little bit. And I think I'll build a mill foundry, because that'll allow us to definitely get marines and troops pumping out much, much faster. And our marines over here are healing up from the last battle, which is really nice. So, we'll scout out a little bit, check out the terrain a little bit more, and really see what is up over here inside Orange's land. And we found another faction, so the Sisters of Mercy. They have some of these Justiciar units, and it looks like they're a support class unit, but evidently, I mean, they do a fair amount of damage, and they have a fair amount of health. It looks like if we brought this faction into our empire, it's going to give us +1 health regeneration for our troops, and that might actually be quite helpful. Looks like we found a major empire, so we found AI2, and they are the Broken Lords faction. I talked about these guys briefly earlier, but these guys are, they appear to be a group of machines, to me at least, but evidently they're people. The main thing about them is that they're immaterial, and how the game models that is that they actually don't produce any food at all. All they really do is that they remove the food requirement for their troops, and they replace them with some stuff about dust production. So they're kind of a mercantile faction inside the game, in that they're really dependent on the game currency. Something that you kind of see a fair bit inside these 4X games, and I think Civilization does it with a few of the trade countries. To be frank, I'm not sure about that though. Anyhow, they have a few base units here. They have the Stalwarts, they have the Riders, and they have the Dust Bishop. Looks like they're really heavy on attack, and they're decent on defense, but they're not ranged, unlike us. And it looks like they are also raiding some villages just like we are, with a small group of 2 guys. We might actually even be able to ambush them, because I believe their guys are, they should be melee infantry. And going off of their abilities, they can be healed with dust, which is interesting, and they have soul leech, so maybe they're like the vampiric units, where they can just sort of suck up energy from our guys if we do choose to attack them. That is really rather interesting. Well, it looks like they also have they have 2 forest tiles over here, 2 enchanted forests, which give a little bit more. Actually, they give +1 tech, so that is good. And inside our zone, we found a exotics location, which produces a ton of food, and it will also generate some research. And it looks like we started off fairly near to the coast. I think we'll play an extra turn, make this an 11-turn video, and I'll get our guys to move forwards. Oh, actually, it looks like they've decided to attack us, so that's interesting. And it looks like this will be a pretty even battle, so maybe their guys cost a little bit more than ours. I think I'll end the part here, and I think we'll continue off next time for this battle. So I'll see you guys then. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the series so far. Bye bye for now.